Hi everybody, this is Alchemist2 and I'm back again with another movie review. Recently I went to see Hunger Games Catching Fire, and having watched the first film, I thought that everybody that was involved with the first film did an absolutely exceptional job. And I have to say that Catching Fire exceeded my expectations in every single way, shape, and form. Of course, there were a few things that I had to inform my father about because he couldn't remember any of the characters from the first film, and it was very important to have seen the first film or read the books before you actually went to see the movies. Just like with Mortal Instruments, if you hadn't read that book then, or the series, then the movie probably wouldn't make that much sense whatsoever. At least I don't think it would, honestly. Everybody involved with this particular installation, I think, exceeded what could be done, and the CGI was better. The music by James Newton Howard, I know it was his work. I love James Newton Howard. He's just he is absolutely sensational. He truly is a marvel in modern composer's realm, and I just wish I could aspire to that. I don't have that kind of genius. He's well known for his work, and of course a lot of people are more familiarized with him and Star Wars. Of course, who doesn't know that if you're not a film buff or you've been in a cave with your fingers in your ears for years? Geez, I'm a little bit cheeky tonight. I really enjoyed this particular installation just because I felt it was a little bit darker than the first one. Not that the first one wasn't dark, mind you, but this one is increasingly so because it focuses more on corruption as a theme within the entire film. And then you can see more of a divide or duality. You've got those who have the power and those who are weak. It's more about oppressors versus the oppressees, for lack of better terminology. And I always thought that was a very interesting comparison and contrast, and it's a very stark contrast. And this futuristic realm, especially the new arena, is just so much more vast and expansive. And the new characters that you meet are very interesting, especially Finnick. And you love to hate him, but yeah, there are lots of reasons to hate him, but I won't go into that. Of course, President Snow, I've loathed him ever since I read the books, and I even loathe him more in the movies that give me more of a reason to hate him. The actor who plays his part does really a tremendous job, because he is really sardonic and cruel and twisted, and he's just so evil, so very evil. He is the perfect antagonist, I think, and he's the epitome of arrogance and hubris, I think. I'm not really sure what else to say about this film other than I give it 2 thumbs way up, 5 stars, hands down, just like the first one. That's better than the first one. Of course, we fans have to wait another whole year until Mockingjay comes out, but if you've read the book, you already know what what decision Katniss has to make. Of course, I'm not going to talk about that, and what Peeta goes through. Oh, dear Lord God, that poor boy. You just feel so sorry for him. You feel sorry for Gale in this one quite a bit too, even though he's not so important a figure, I think, even though he is kind of a catalyst in a way. But the true catalyst is Katniss, and we all know why that is. She's a symbol. and I won't go into why that is, but a lot of things in this movie are symbolic. And Suzanne Collins, who is Hoosier native, and I have to say, a little bit of pride about that. We got another Hoosier native in it, and that would be Woody Harrelson, and he's just absolutely perfect as Hamish. I just love him. He is really just sensational, and there are a lot of good things to take away from this film. It is a probable reality if we're careful. If we're careful with who we vote into our offices, this will probably never happen. But if we're not, this could definitely happen, and that's why it gives me a little bit of pause. And maybe we should take maybe we should take movies like this a little bit more seriously. Maybe it's more of a wake-up call. I think it is, even though you know it's fiction, but things like this could happen. And they showed a trailer for Divergent, and Divergent can happen as well, which gives me a little bit of fear. But I really shouldn't use the word fear. I just want to use the word caution. Caution is a better word than fear, and it's time to be more assertive. It's films like this that I think raise awareness on what's really happening and what could happen if we're not careful when we let history repeat itself. We just have to be cautious. We need to remember that we are sharing resources with one another. What one person does affects so many others, and we don't even know how far away. There are links, little links everywhere between each and every one of us, and we may not understand the implications afar off. But if we use everything that we have, all of our resources, particularly those of our words and our minds. Minds are very powerful elements. And I know I'm probably going to sound a lot like the 11th Doctor, but possibilities are endless. And I never really met a possibility I never liked. And the doors are always open, and we have to use our intentions for the good. We have to have no judgment with those intentions, and if we implement these in such a way, this can be a power so unrivaled that we wouldn't even recognize ourselves with what we do. And I think that this is what's going to happen. I think that's what our ancestors really wanted us to have, and that's what Greg Braden talks about in his forums, and he's one of my heroes. But this movie sparked all these ideas in my brain, and I just feel that I had to broadcast this to my watchers, all of you. And why I wanted to actually know everybody else's thoughts, what you think about post-apocalyptic movies such as these, and why they have risen in popularity. If you think that maybe subconsciously as a society we do not want these things to happen to ourselves, and we are safeguarding ourselves from futures that could be like that. I'd like to think that myself. I personally feel that we have the ability to create whatever kind of future that we desire. I like to think, being the optimist that I am, that this future will not be like that in Divergent or in the Hunger Games. I don't believe that. I feel that we can use our technology for good. And that's all I really wanted to say with this review, actually, and just share that with you. And that's why I look forward with such great anticipation in knowing that every dream that I have is just a potentiality waiting to manifest itself. And I know that these things will come to happen. They are coming to happen as I speak. And with every passing moment, without judgment, I know that they will come to be. And I know probably none of this makes sense, but intention is a very powerful thing, as well as our words. So we have to use them with great care, and we have to treat each other with great care, because we are unique in ourselves. We are all human beings, but we're all unique, and that's where chaos theory comes in, because you've got two things existing that you never thought would work together, yet balance exists because of it. Didn't think I would go into physics, but this is the truth, and I just thought I would share that with you, my friends. So until next time, live long and prosper, everybody. Ciao tutti.